Hello everybody, it's Canon Cate again. You've just caught me eating some of favourite things that I love to chew on, and they're figs. Do you like figs? I better put it away, haven't I, while I'm talking to you. Let me put it away. Figs really grow in hot countries, don't they? And they have great big leaves on the trees, which give people a lot of shade. A friend of mine who lives in Cyprus, that's quite a way away, and it's quite a hot country, particularly in the summer, has a lovely fig tree in her garden. And when I go and visit her, I like to go and sit under the tree when it's very hot. And if the figs are out, I like to eat the figs. The fig that I've just eaten is a dried fig, and it's not quite as nice as the lovely, soft, succulent figs that we can pick off her tree. And we get a nice lot of shade there, and we can sit and we can chat, because that's what friends do, isn't it? And I've been thinking about my friends, because I've been missing them quite a bit recently, particularly those who live far away. I have friends, some who I have known for ever such a long time. Some live nearby and some live quite a way away, all over the world, in fact, like my other friend who I said that I visit sometimes. And friends, I think about my friends, and I know that they think about me. And I also pray for them from time to time. I pray that they're fit and that they're well and that they're happy. Some of my friends are what I would call close friends, friends that are always there for me. And other friends are not so close. They're good friends, but they're not close friends. Not friends that I would think would always be there to help me if I needed them and I asked for help. But I like to think most of my friends would do that. Have you got some friends, some special friends? Because we all need friends. And of course, Jesus was no different. Jesus needed friends as well. He needed his friends to help him when he was travelling and to be company for him, to help him with his teaching, to bring people to him. And he had some very special friends, if you remember, his disciples. But how did he get them? He had men, lots of men and women who travelled with him, and he had these 12 special friends. And today I'm going to tell you a story about 2 of them. Well, let me think. Philip and Nathaniel were the 2 friends I'm going to tell you about. Now, Nathaniel is a bit unusual because sometimes he is referred to as Bartholomew. So sometimes it's Philip and Bartholomew, and sometimes it's Philip and Nathaniel. And they were friends, and they liked, like we do when we're with our friends, they liked sharing things. Well, one day, Philip came up to his friend Nathaniel, and Nathaniel was sitting under, can you see that? He was sitting under a fig tree, getting the shade from the fig tree. And he said, you'll never guess what has happened, Nathaniel. He said, I met a man this morning, a very special man. I think he's the Messiah. The one, do you remember the one who was written about in our scriptures, and we've heard people reading about him? The one that was going to come and help us and bring good news to us? Well, Nathaniel laughed a bit and said, oh yes, so what? So where does this man come from? And Philip said, well, he comes from the town of Nazareth. Well, at that, Nathaniel burst out laughing and said, what, from that town? Do you really think that a man who's going to be the Messiah, the King, who's going to save us all, comes from that funny old town Nazareth? So he was really quite rude about it. And Philip said, well, don't believe me then. Come and see. Come with me and see this man himself. So Philip took Nathaniel along to see Jesus. Well, something strange happened. As Philip and Nathaniel were walking towards Jesus, Jesus called out and said to other people who were about, "Here comes an honest man." Nathanael was stunned. He was amazed. He said, "How does he know me?" So he said to Jesus, "How do you know about me?" And Jesus said, "I saw you even before Philip spoke to you. I saw you sitting under the fig tree in the shade of the day." Wow, Nathanael was amazed. He was so taken aback. He said, "Oh, this really must be the person that we've read about. This really must be the Son of God, the Messiah." Jesus smiled, his kind smile, and he said to him, "Do you think that just because I told you that I knew about you when you were sat under the tree?" So Nathanael looked a little bit puzzled. And Jesus said to him, "If you follow me and you become my friend, you will see a lot more amazing things." Well, from that day onwards, Philip and Nathanael became good friends of Jesus. Jesus looked after them. He told them stories and they listened to his teaching. They learnt from him and they saw all the miracles that he did. So that after Jesus died, they could carry on his teaching. They could carry on telling the stories of Jesus and how he showed people how they should live, about being kind and loving and caring to people and to the world. We know, of course, that Philip and Nathanael were just some of Jesus' friends, but they're very important friends to us today. And they were important friends to Jesus too. And of course, we too can be friends with Jesus. We might not meet him like Philip and Nathanael did, but we know that he is always there for us because he is a good friend. And he's a good friend like a good friend should be. We can talk to him in our prayers. We can talk to him whenever we want to because we're never alone, because Jesus is a friend who never leaves us. And that's an amazing thought, isn't it? A friend who never leaves us. I just wonder, what sort of a friend are we? Are we a kind, caring and loyal friend? Or are we a friend who gets bored with someone and then goes on to somebody else? I think it's good to think about what sort of a friend we are. Are we a good friend? A caring, kind friend who likes to share, like Philip did with Nathanael, the story and bring him to meet someone amazing? Or are we a selfish friend? Well, I'm going to go back to eating my figs. Well, one or two. I wish I could share them with you because they really are rather lovely. But bye for now, and I hope that you are all good friends and that you remember that Jesus is your friend always.